IAMRICKNELL, and welcome to MeElevate The Podcast. Today's going to be a great topic and discussion, which is going to be yoga and meditation. I have learned in my years in my research that even Bruce Lee did some sort of yoga, which is chi, and that's something that I always was interested in. So yoga is actually really good mentally, spiritually, and physically. We definitely going to be breaking it down more in depth. We have a special guest, Ravenne, other known as Divine Nature, and we're going to be discussing and have an interview and kind of breaking things down, and also what her company provides and what she do as an entrepreneur. Breathing techniques, meditation, alignment with self. It's a lot. And the thing about changing your mindset or even getting to the part where you want to be a better version of yourself, is so many things that we can do to really help. And not only that, imagine the benefits of doing yoga. Like even me, I'm thinking, imagine the benefits if I really did exercise and yoga and really be on point with it. Consistent, constant. What would it be doing? Workout wise, what would it be doing to my body and mentally, physically, and spiritually? Yoga getting me in a position where it's getting me in alignment, my mind, my body, my soul, my spirit, my breathing techniques. So it's a lot of things that I'm very interested in, and I think that this is going to be an interesting topic. So go ahead, sit back, relax. Remember, don't just listen to me. Don't hear me. Receive the message.
Coming up next.
What's a healthy fact about yoga?
On the website hopkinsmedicine.org, they say, 1. Yoga improves strength, balance, and flexibility. Slow movements and deep breathing increase blood flow and warm up muscles, while holding a pose can build strength.
What is the benefits of yoga?
Here's a summary from the website hopkinsmedicine.org. Yoga improves strength, balance, and flexibility. Yoga helps with back pain relief. Yoga can ease arthritis symptoms. Yoga benefits heart health. Yoga relaxes you to help you sleep better, and more.
Don't wait for that day. Make today that day. You know, we always say that day or one day I do it. One day I get to it. One day after I just do this. No more one day. Let today be that one day. Let today be the day. This is MeElevate Podcast, and I am your host, Rick Now. I am proudly and ready to present the interview with Ravenne, other known as Divine Nature, talking about yoga and meditation and many more. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. Blessed to be here another day.
Ashe to that, yes.
So could you tell us about your company and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, my name is Ravenne. A lot of people know me as Nature or Divine Nature, and I am a trauma-sensitive yoga teacher. I used to be a social worker and transitioned into that field, which I know we'll get into why, but I am also a intuitive birth worker, a sexual health educator, and herbalist, and I also do intuitive readings.
That's amazing. So when you say trauma, could you like break that down a little bit? Because I think that's kind of unique to have the trauma with the yoga.
Yeah, for sure. So when we think of trauma, one thing that everybody should know is trauma looks a lot like you and me. And when we think of trauma, a lot of people go to what we might label an extreme, like a war veteran or somebody dealing with PTSD. But trauma is just really anything that's deeply distressing. So when it comes to trauma sensitive yoga, this is more of a restorative yoga to help people get back into ease into their body and just being able to manage their emotions better.
So what does it take for a beginner to be like, okay, you know what? I'm liking the yoga thing. What do I have to do to be able to do yoga? Is it like a mindset thing?
So anybody can do yoga. It's really just yoga means union. So yoga is really just union with your breath in your body, just coming into yourself and feeling into your body. A lot of times we neglect our body and our feelings and emotions because we're trying to just like check out because it's been too traumatizing, or we just can't sit with those sensations. So anyone can definitely do it though.
And then I was doing like a little research on yoga because I like yoga and it's something that I want to get into. And I learned that it's still really beneficial for your health, your body, your mind, your spirit. So is that something that you can kind of like go over a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, yoga is definitely beneficial in multiple ways. So, like you said, mind, body, and spirit. Definitely, body is what we touch on first when it comes to the trauma, because that, well, body and mind, but because a lot of times we store emotions in our body and we need to move them out because those emotions then can manifest as dis-ease. And as we are able to, get back in tune with our body, with ourselves, that helps with our mind as well and helps to reprogram things. So, like when we deal with trauma, we deal with the body's natural reactions of fight, flight, or freeze. And so a lot of times, when situations come up again, people might go into that flight mode or that freeze mode. And with yoga, that basically just helps to balance out your reaction and allows you to respond after you've been able to like sit with it and process it rather than reacting how we normally would, or feeling like we don't have a safe space or like we can't be present.
That's amazing. Like for real. I really like that. And I think like that's the benefit of growing as well, because that exercising your body, but doing it mentally, physically, and spiritually is like a really big thing. And that's something I think that lacks in everybody's life. Not just yoga, but just actually working on yourself spiritually, mentally, and physically.
Hmm.
So what made you get into trauma and wanting to like help others?
Well, with my interest being a social worker, I already had that background of wanting to help people, but I know that that stems from just my history growing up, coming from a family that has experienced a lot of trauma and having that passed on. I really wanted to break that cycle, but I know in order for me to really help others, I had to do the work first. But I was drawn to yoga for a long time. I just never had the free time to do it, to take a course. And then when I finally did, that was the one that presented itself, was a trauma sensitive course. It actually is called EMBER, which stands for mindfulness based emotional resilience.
Mm,
And it's because resilience is something that we think is maybe like hard to come by, or we look at people like, oh, they're so resilient, but we all have a little bit of resilience in us. And the people that we think like make it look easy, it's not that it's easy, it's just that they've learned coping mechanisms to help them, get through those difficult times and things.
yes, I agree. And it's a challenge sometimes, and it actually take time to be able to really work on yourself. You lose people, you gain people, you learn stuff about yourself. So this is something that I really love, and I definitely like to help others as well. So like having you on this show, I think it's a good for people to be able to listen to and take in, and having an open mind to something different. How would you describe your life after using yoga?
Hmm. Well, after yoga, I would say I'm definitely way more self-aware. Also, definitely way more able to handle my emotions and triggers, because I'm able to have these tools that I've learned to use, like breath work, movement out of my body, and just, allowing myself to take up space where that was something that I had issues with growing up. It was like my voice was silenced, or and that can make somebody feel like they don't want to take up space or they kind of minimize themselves. So doing yoga has definitely helped me build confidence and strength mentally, emotionally, and also physically.
So was that like the turning point where you like coming out of your shell and actually finding yourself and becoming the better version of yourself?
I would definitely say so. When I was a social worker, part time, I was also a pure romance consultant. So I was doing my parties part time, and that really helped me build confidence because I was speaking about sex in front of a lot of women. And, you know, you have to have confidence for that. But what I did was I used that once I quit my social work job. Being a sexual health educator was my full time job, and that's what allowed me to take the yoga training. And from there, I was able to dive into this holistic healing aspect of the things that I really wanted to pursue. So it did help me because I was transitioning to my own business and also just my own, you know, way of living, being able to share that with others, empower others in that way, which led to all these other fields like herbalism and birth work. So definitely I would say it got me out of my comfort zone and, you know, just allowed me to feel validated in my experiences so that I can help others.
Yeah, that's dope. And how does it make you feel to be able for somebody to come to you and then they give you so much inspiration and tell you how much that you have helped them and healed them in so many different ways? How does that make you feel?
It's honestly really very fulfilling. All I can do is give thanks because, like, I can say, even just about a month or two ago, I felt like I did what was my dream event. I got to go back to my college and empower young women. And I just feel like I'm able to be that person that I felt that I needed when I was growing up. And, you know, I'm still young. So, you know, we still all need those mentors and those people to look up to. But being able to bring that to the younger generation, but even older people, it's very fulfilling because it's something that we all need, but we don't always have the resources or know who to go to. So I really like just having my setup like I do in-home personal sessions or group sessions, but just being able to create that vibe and see the difference. You know, maybe people coming in where they're just calm and then the end of the session they're in tears and they're able to release and feel like that is so powerful.
Yes. Now, do you prefer like working in groups or do you prefer working one on one or like maybe both?
Mm. Okay, so I want to say both, but I definitely will say I've worked a lot, mostly individually, which I really love because then I'm able to tap into spirit more and communicate with that person one on one and allow them to feel comfortable because not everybody's comfortable in a group setting when it comes to moving their body or feeling and expressing. So I guess being a social worker too, I had those one-on-ones with my clients a lot. So that kind of transferred over to me enjoying like the one-on-one work with spiritual practices and yoga as well.
So that one on one kind of really helps somebody that's putting that guard up and that defense, how they don't really want to ask for help, but they kind of trying to ask for help. So you doing that one on one, they kind of help them open up more.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yep.
That's dope. And what drives you every day to keep doing what you're doing?
Mm. Wow, good question. Um, I would say one, just showing up for myself. I will say because I think anybody needs to hear this, but a lot of times when we experience rejection, we tend to reject ourselves. So to counteract that, the best thing to do is to start showing up for yourself. And so like this year I'm really practicing discipline, but also knowing like because I'm here for a purpose. There is not any one singular thing in my day that I should let bring me down enough that I'm not actually sharing my gift and diving deeper into my gift to help other people.
I love that. And then also what you do is you also like on your page, you have a lot of healthy food. You cook a lot of healthy meals to be able to help you, not just your body, but I think it also helps your mind. Could you like elaborate on that? That somebody that don't understand or maybe need to hear that?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of the food that we are used to eating, it can cause a lot of issues because one, there's a lot of chemical additives and dyes, and it's just also even putting things that are not living in our body, because we are nature. So we need to really fuel our body. And if you're putting something that's not living, your body can't really do anything with that. It's just creating like more of a stagnant energy or too much of the earth element, versus if you're fueling your body, you're giving yourself that energy, which is going to help everything function like it's supposed to, because we need to give our body living things so we can get that blood flow, that oxygen flowing, so everything can work how it's supposed to. Because if not, our hormones and everything is thrown off, and our mind is more focused on digestion, because the gut is really the mind. So if we are focusing on digestion, we can't really think straight or focus. So it's really
Agreed.
important, yeah, to fuel the body.
So if you had something to say to somebody that may have been in a state of mind that you was in before you became the person that you are now, and it's kind of tough when you don't really have that support. So woman or male, what would you say to them right now to try to motivate them or make them motivate themselves, or maybe some type of words or methods to help them become better?
Mm, wow. Well, put me on blast, won't you, right? But
Nah.
honestly, some of the things that I need to hear is just like, you are loved. You have to show up for yourself, even if nobody else will. And there are people that will love you, that will nurture and nourish you, and that will cherish your spirit. But you got to start showing up and doing what you love. Don't be afraid to do what you love, pursue, try new things. Even the whole idea of like, you have to be the jack of just one, a master of just one thing. Like, no, try everything, because you don't know what you love until you try it. You don't know what is going to really ignite you, right? A lot of times we're living in other people's shadows, or we're living
Yes.
based off other people's thoughts or judgments or perspectives. But what is it that you want to do? And what is it that you love and that fuels you? So I would say, F what anybody else has to say or think or their opinion. Sometimes you just got to do you and show up for you. And then the right people will come along.
I definitely agree, because I had to learn that you got to be careful, because people will try to push their insecurities on you. And if your mind is not strong enough, it can really get to you, and they can plant the bad seeds, because we got good seeds and bad seeds. People can plant them bad seeds into you, and you got to learn how to, like, nah, I'm not about to let your insecurity stop me from my dreams or my vision.
Hmm.
So, what do you do to handle stress? Like, how do you overcome
Wow.
that?
Well, honestly, a lot of it goes back to me learning, like I've learned to nurture my inner child. So when we go back and think about those things that we did as a child that we loved, that we no longer do, some of it could be because we forgot because of trauma, or just because, we were young. But those things that allow us to feel free. So me, I love to dance. I love dancing because, one, it's a way that it's grounding, because I'm literally, my feet are on the floor, connecting to my ancestor, connecting to the earth. And then also I'm able to move and take up space. So it allows me to flow. And then I love to sing. So singing and dancing is a big way. But other times, definitely, well, drinking my teas, I will say that definitely helps, because again, there are certain herbs that balance hormones and also give you energy. And then there's also herbs that are adaptogens, which help to soothe your nervous system. So drinking my herbal teas, taking care of my root chakra basically. And then also obviously yoga and meditation. So that's another part of that grounding and breath work, just helping to regulate my nervous system. Um, but yeah, just really moving that energy out in any way you can. So whether it's through, just if you think about all of the chakras, and if you don't know what the chakras are, maybe we'll come back and talk about that. But finding different ways to stimulate each of your chakras to express and release is a great way to relieve stress.
That's dope, man. And I definitely agree with that. So most people may not see it, but I can tell that you love nature, that you really, really love nature. Could you explain that?
Yeah, that's funny that you say most people might not see it. Well, I was gifted that name, and just because I've always been very in tune with nature. And the thing is just I strongly know that we are nature and we should be the energy that we are. And what better way to be it than to be immersed in it and to see that reflection? So, I've heard once, and I agree, like we should spend at least 2 hours a day in nature. But that's where we belong. We belong in the islands, we belong in the motherland and the nature. And we're so used to being in a car or in an office or in a house in these box spaces. But everything in nature is beautiful. We can learn so much because, like, nature is not on no man's time. Nothing can destroy nature. And everything in nature, it cannot be numbered. Everything is abundant. So if we just, embody that mindset and that energy of just being and also just always giving, it's just a beautiful thing. But I just feel we are nature and we should spend a lot more time. It's healing, and there's studies that
It
show it,
is.
but this is something we know. We just need a reminder sometimes.
Yeah, I absolutely love nature. There's nothing like the nature, then the water, then you got the sun, then you got the trees. It's just you have the bird and the environment. It's definitely healing. So that's something that I can agree on.
Hmm.
So who's your biggest influence or influencers?
Okay, so this is a hard question. I will say that I take what I need from different areas, different people, different teachers, but I won't say that there's a specific person or thing. But I will say, just like, one thing I know is like knowledge is power. And so I try to, gain as much knowledge and turn it into wisdom by implementing it and just, holding on to those things that resonate. But it's all going to come back to, I guess, nature. Nature is my biggest influence.
That's a good answer. So if you can say something to yourself in 5 years and you looking at the camera talking to yourself, what would you say?
Wow. OMG. Okay. I feel like that's a sentence right there. Wow. OMG. I,
Like we made it, we did it, we did it.
right. I would just say, you are a phenomenal being, a phenomenal woman, and, you have impacted so many lives and will continue to, and just continue to be the energy that you are, because nobody can take that away from you.
Now, I noticed that you said you do a few things. Do you want to like maybe talk about more than just yoga? I know you said the subjects. Do you want to like maybe go in detail and a little bit about what you do overall so people can
Yeah.
get an understanding?
Yeah, absolutely. So after I finished my yoga certification and took about a year or so to kind of dive into that, I actually was able to get an herbalist certification, and this was life changing. So with herbalism, we focus on the body as a whole. We are made up of the five elements: air, water, fire, earth, ether, and when we look at herbs and things in nature, we can identify what it's good for in the body just by observation. So that's another gem, is that observation is key. But as an herbalist, I do custom herbal consultations to assist people with any dis-ease going on in their body, and we do get to the root. So we go over mental, spiritual, emotional, physical, nutritional, all that. But working with herbs is definitely been magical and life changing. I've been able to assist a lot of people. So I own I Rebel Tea Society. It's EYE, I Rebel Tea Society. And that came about because I'm actually completely blind in my left eye. And so I really wanted to take a focus on assisting people with just paying attention to their eye health as well as their overall health. So I have some custom herbal blends that I've made with names already, but I love doing custom herbal consultations one-on-one. So yeah, so with that, I Rebel Tea Society is a spiritual arts and apothecary. So I include in that that I am a birth worker. So I also pursued my birth work certification, which allows me to be what is also known as a doula, which allows me to assist mothers through their pregnancy, before, during, and after. So that's with the nutrition, also advocating for them, so that they can have the birth that they desire, more of a natural birth, that will allow them to have that healthy experience. And then as a pure romance consultant, I've been doing that for 5 years now. I do private and home parties for women 18 and up to empower and educate them on their sexual wellness and intimacy, in our products. So we have like bath and beauty, lingerie, intimate bedroom accessories. And it's really awesome because a lot of women don't know about their bodies or need that guidance to get intimate with themselves and also with their partners, and knowing what that's like or how to have those conversations with their partners as well. So I really love doing that. And then I also do readings, so tarot readings, oracle readings. Like I said, I love to tap in with spirit and just also just give people inspiration and guidance. I have a lot of just experience and wisdom again, so I'm able to share that. Um, I think that's everything. And I'm also a poet. So definitely, like I said, I found my voice, and poetry has been a great way for me to exercise that and just express myself.
I love it. I love it. I love the entrepreneurship. And
Thank
I
you.
don't believe that you're everywhere. I feel like that you're making so many different platforms and so many different companies that is going to build so much generational wealth, and also is going to help so many people, and not only help them, but it's going to help them help others. So I believe that what you're doing is amazing. And like, I do want to say, keep doing what you're doing, because I feel like you are going to impact the world in so many different ways. Just from my experience of meeting you, and different things that you do that I have seen with my eyes. So just definitely keep doing what you're doing. One thing I do want to say is, how does it feel to work with a woman that's in labor, and really working with her as she builds, like, and gets ready to have her child? Like, how does that make you
Wow.
feel?
Well, it is really empowering because, one, we have to remember, like, although we live in a patriarchal society, we are the matriarch. We are responsible for the lives that we bring into this world. And if we want to break the cycle, it starts from in the womb. A lot of trauma that we experience, starts in the womb. So when I work with a woman who's about to give birth or starting, just becoming pregnant, like, we do a lot of work because, one, we want to make sure that she's eating right, fueling the body. A lot of complications when it comes to birth is due to nutritional deficiencies. So that's like a big thing. And then also the spiritual work, because when this baby comes, and even during the pregnancy, like, how are you showing up? How are you feeling emotionally? So that those things don't affect the baby even before they come out. But it's definitely very empowering, and it's all intuitive. And it's also, a reminder to put that power in the mother's hands, because she has to trust her intuition as well, and she knows best. But just reminding her that she is in control. Nobody else, no institution, no hospital, no doctor. Like, she is in control and is able to have a healthy birth just because we were born to do this. So, yeah, it's pretty powerful.
No, no, very, very powerful. I know we have like 10 minutes left. I want to do a few things. First, I would like for you to shout out your companies, and then I will also get them and put them on the screen so people can see that and follow your pages.
Okay, awesome. So my yoga page is at Heal with Divine Nature on Instagram. You can also find it on Facebook if you add my full name, Ravenne Marte, or you search Heal with Divine Nature. I have a page on there. And then my herbalist page is I Rebel Tea Society. Again, that's EYE, I Rebel Tea Society.
And then we also do on MeElevate Podcast, we have a segment where we call Tell the Story. So we don't tell you what story to tell or how to tell your story. So we just asking you just to tell a story. It doesn't matter what story it is, whatever story you want to. You have 1 minute, 2 minutes to tell your story,
Ah, okay.
or a story.
Um, Okay, well, you got me. You think you're slick. You got me to share a poem. Okay, so 1 second. Let me just pull it up real quick.
No problem.
Am I going to do this one? Is good because it's like yoga. Let me think of one of the words. Okay. Woo! Oh man. Okay, this is kind of intense. So I want to give a trigger warning. But yeah. Okay. She is the masterpiece, balancing on tippy toes with each downward dog and malasana, womb on fire, dragon's breath, as she practices 10 times each asana. Sweating, sweat dripping from forehead, third eye sweating like she's in a sauna, because seeing and knowing requires strength that makes sweat exude from her pores, like sweating in sheets overnight, waking up from bad dreams, insomnia. In dreams, she saw the hug that she wanted but never got. She saw the guns that were fired and never stopped. She saw the police arrest her creator but never thought she would be shackled for so long to thoughts that linger. Heaviness on her chest like a pointed finger. Back up, restore the good memories in my third eye like I cloud my thoughts with marijuana, suppressed emotions, no sweating, just smoking myself out like hot boxed memories of lockdowns, not COVID related, ones that shut away loved ones, meanwhile you've made it. How can you make it when the ones you love are shut away? The ones that created you can't congratulate, forced suffocation like I didn't know I was claustrophobic until I picked up the phone to dial your number and couldn't. Until I tried to right your wrongs and couldn't. Until I sought the comfort in your palms and couldn't. Like balancing breaths and bones and loins and groans, anger released in only poems and shamanic release, coconuts thrown against concrete. Suffocation released like too much sweet inside. Electrolytes inside the creator's womb, once released, coconut water pours, sweet, cool, relief. On tippy toes, downward dogging into a plank, elbows in, chin up, heart open, exhale, release. Relax and thank source for movement in my body. Life force energy releasing bullets that would have shot if I didn't move them out. Breathe in, breathe out. Activate your throat chakra, sounding out your breath. Vibrations exploding through aura like asteroids, destroying as it falls with gravity. Saddens me that ones I love can't fully experience my soul happily. Tragedy. The ones we love so madly, so mad at me, so angry because trauma. Breaking cycles, stay away from drama. It's not as easy as Instagram posts when bloodlines so thick. Trauma starting within the womb of your mama. Mama, mummy, mum. Mama, mummy, mum. I miss being silly and getting on your nerves just for fun. I miss climbing in your lap, kissing you on your cheek, wiping away your tears, and thank you for reminding me to trust no one, not even you. Thank you for telling me that I don't have to accept religion as long as I find something that grounds me. Thank you for always encouraging me to spread my wings and find myself, because you will always be there when I get back. I don't know if you'll be there when I get back, when my body has had a break long enough to feel like I'm ready for another emotional attack. I don't know. So I thank you, my creator. You created a masterpiece. Look in the mirror. She is a masterpiece. She's learned how to masterpiece. Although there's no limit to what she carries on her shoulders, she is a soldier. Looking in the mirror, she is not the same. She will not be ashamed despite looking just like you. Cool. Thank you.
That was actually very, very, very powerful. Like, what state of mind and how long did it take you to make that?
Well, yeah, I'm surprised that I read that because, well, again, it's been me finding my voice and not being afraid to share these things out loud or be concerned about who is listening. But I wrote that in one day. Usually my poems I write all at once in a few moments. Like it just comes like out. And it's just my form of release. So I'm pretty sure just like I wrote that just when I was having a day, and it just all came out. And it was obviously very, reflective, and just my release in that moment. Like I've learned to transmute emotions through my poetry a lot of times, and then I'm able to like be empowered because I always include like an empowering message in there. So yeah.
Powerful. I want to say thank you for your time. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate your character and who you are. I appreciate everything that you brought here, and people can follow you on so many different levels. And I feel like once they follow you, it's not just following you, they'll be able to elevate as well and maybe learn something or heal something within themselves. So I definitely appreciate your time. It was an honor. Everybody, if you don't know, this is Raven, other known as Divine Nature.
Shay, thank you so much, and I appreciate your time and
Ain't
energy
nothing
as well.
too
Thank you
big
for having me.
that you can't overcome.
Thank
All
you.
your obstacles,
No matter what you're going through, you can overcome
Okay.
anything you're going through.
Listen to me. Listen
As
to me.
we elevate and elevate ourselves to a
Make
sure I say this right. Let me grab the phone. We're going to be shouting out Mr. P's. Mr. P's Wings and Things, grand opening Saturday at 11 o'clock, close at 9 o'clock, live DJs, tickets, drawing, and prize. Free food for kids, 4267 Eastland Mall. Again, 4267 Eastland Mall Food Court, Mr. P's Wings and Things. And if you didn't know, the LeBron Chicken of Columbus. And if you didn't know that Columbus Go, you better get it. So what I'm saying is, if you didn't know, it is the grand opening at Mr. P's, Saturday, 4267 Eastland Mall. 4267 Eastland Mall. I'm going to go ahead and throw the flyer up here, and y'all go ahead and get that Columbus Go. You ready for this? The affirmation of today. I am the creator of my life. I control and master my emotions, my feelings, my thoughts. I understand what I don't understand. I must stand in what I do understand. I am fit to be great and achieve anything in my life. I will achieve my dreams, my goals, and ambition. I am motivated. I am determined. I am here to be the better and best version of myself. I will strive to greatness, overstanding, and the knowledge of being patient and being present in the moment. I am grateful. I am blessed. I attract amazing things. I attract amazing people. I am. That is the affirmation of today.
McNeil make hits.
Do you have digital content? Are you an artist? Are you a rapper? Are you an engineer? Are you a producer? Are you a beat maker? Use Ricknell Beats. Contact Ricknell Beats. Look up Ricknell Beats. Search Ricknell Beats. Purchase Ricknell Beats. Download free Ricknell Beats. Ricknell Beats is what you need in your production, in your life. If you want elevation, if you want a different sound, if you want something that sounds different, natural, Ricknell Beats is the answer. And Ricknell also is willing to work with any producers, any talent, or anyone else out there that would like to network and collaborate. Ricknell Beats all across the world, and a beat in a project. coming soon near you. Ricknell Beats, download them. You can find us everywhere. Hit your search bar in any platform and type Ricknell Beats. Ricknell Beats, and that is Beats with a Z. Ain't nothing too big that you can't overcome. All your obstacles, no matter what you're going through, you can overcome anything you're going through.
Listen to me. Listen
As
to
we
me.
elevate and elevate ourselves to a whole different level and a whole different meaning.
Bullshit. No negative shit.
No matter the obstacle, I'ma do everything possible. Keep moving forward, unstoppable. Ain't no challenge in my life impossible. You can make it too, yeah, you. Overcome what you going through. Embrace your power for your breakthrough. And when you MeElevate, it's a great view. It's hard to lie, so I don't try. If you know me, I got a whole vibe. I'm on the road as I think and drive. Free my emotions as I start to fly. It's hard to lie, so I don't try. If you know me, I got a whole vibe. I'm on the road as I think and drive. Free my emotions as I start to fly. This for all the people that's fed up. Every day trying to keep your head up. You can grind, you can shine, you can live your dreams. You can do anything you put your mind to. But you gotta have faith and believe in you. And fuck whoever don't believe in you. And watch who you trust, they might envy you. Try to break you down and destroy the inner you. It's hard to lie, so I don't try. If you know me, I got a whole vibe. I'm on the road as I think and drive. Free my emotions as I start to fly. It's hard to lie, so I don't try. If you know me, I got a whole vibe. I'm on the road as I think and drive. Free my emotions as I start to fly.